Is this thing working? Oh, hey guys. It's been a minute. But hey, guess what? We're back, baby. Season 2 of the Crucible Brothers starts today, and we're here to get the things rolling on the season of piracy in Destiny 2 with our very first video. Today we're going to be talking about maybe the closest thing to a pirate scout rifle we have, and that is, of course, the Dead Man's Tale. Now, I'm sure you guys have some questions. Where have you been for these last few weeks? Why is the first video you're coming back on an old scout rifle? And of course, why the hell are you saying that a lever action rifle, which is more closely associated with the Wild West, is closer than we got to piracy? Well, to answer your questions, one, me and Gumi have been in a hyperbolic time chamber for the last month, slowly building up our power levels in anticipation for this new season. Two, the DMT was the closest thing we had to a viable scout rifle for several months. And now, after so many nerfs and so many other scout rifles getting buffed, that crown is no longer as secure on its head as it used to be, so it's an interesting thing to talk about. And three, I don't know. I just said it. I don't really control what I say sometimes. These videos aren't scripted. Anyways, in Season of the Plunder, DMT received the final nail in the coffin for its supremacy with a massive nerf to the cranial spike perk. So we're going to take a look at the DMT before, the DMT after the nerfs, and how it sits in the landscape of scout rifles currently. But before we do that, it's the first video back, baby, so run them numbers up. Hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Season 2 of the Crucible Brothers is now activated, which means we have content coming your way. We're going to be streaming more. We're going to be doing more videos, better videos, maybe, who knows. Quality is in the eye of the beholder. But if you want to support all that, hit the like button, leave a comment, help us out with the YouTube algorithm, and let's get right into the meat of it. Alright, well, as I'm sure you're aware if you played any Crucible in the past few seasons, DMT has remained one of those basically perfect weapons in any metagame, a lot like Ace of Spades, in the sense that it has essentially no downsides. It's literally good at everything. It's good at the neutral game, at being just a good doing weapon, it's good at killing supers, and it has a game-breaking damage boost. It has no downsides. And even despite targeted nerfs, it's remained as good as it has been, basically until now. With the start of Season of the Plunder though, Bungie really decided to snipe DMT from its perch. They really took this guy at the kneecaps and cut him down to size by taking away one of those key 3 strengths, and that being DMT's free, easy to abuse damage boost in the Cranial Spike perk. Cranial Spike was reworked so that upon each staff you get range, aim assist, and reload speed, and once you hit ×5, and only when you hit ×5, you will receive a 50 RPM bonus to your hipfire rate of fire, as well as a small damage decrease to compensate. Meaning that DMT goes from a 130 round RPM hipfire weapon dealing 81 per crit to a 180 round hipfire rate of fire dealing 65 per crit. Now on the surface this doesn't seem so bad, right? Because you're kind of hitting that golden ratio of the 180 RPM not forgotten rate of fire, but with 65 damage, you're able to 3-tap up to 7 resilience. So cool, they want to change DMT from a weapon that tended to kind of play in the back of the map to what they obviously, I think, had in mind for it in its original design, which being this, lever action cowboy rifle. They want you to play aggressive, hip fire predominantly in your fights, really get in there and treat DMT not so much as a scout rifle, but as a bigger hand cannon that can reach out to those long ranges, but you want to get in and be aggressive with. The problem is that unfortunately, no matter how you cut it, the changes to Cranial Spike are kind of just a flat nerf to DMT in every way. No matter what, 2-tapping at 130 RPM is always going to be faster than any potential 3-tap at 180 RPM. To put into perspective, a 2-tap at 130 is a 0.46 optimal time to kill, and a 3-tap at 180 is that golden 0.67 that we all know and love. And there is, of course, the concern that we are in a resilience-heavy meta right now in the Crucible. Having high resilience is equivalent to your flinch resistance, so a lot of people are taking the sacrifice to run as high resilience as they can get away with. So honestly, seeing Guardians that are 8 resilience plus, especially Titans and Warlocks, not too uncommon. So there are going to be situations where you'll go out of your way to get the Cranial Spike procced, and then you won't get the reward of the 3-tap unless you have another damage boost on top of it. It is important to note that anything like Radiant will let you 3-tap all resiliences, but again, DMT was 2-tapping by itself with no help before. Overall, Cranial Spike on DMT went from being this perk that you could activate quite regularly and was just this kind of free cherry on top of all the other brokenness, to honestly being a perk I struggled to activate in the matches I was playing for the background gameplay. Now obviously, skill-based matchmaking is a thing for a topic for another day, but it's safe to say that the average quality of lobby is up right now. You're playing better players, and that means getting those 5 crits in a row is honestly a little bit difficult. I was struggling to activate the perk even one time, and by the time I was getting it activated, I was either crushed or being team-shotted, so I wasn't really getting any benefit out of it. The real broken aspect of DMT in previous seasons was that Cranial Spike gave damage for each stack. So as soon as you got to like ×3, if you had an Empowering Rift or another source of damage, you were already 2-tapping. That's what was so damn lethal about it. Now all of this is to say that DMT isn't bad. By no means is DMT bad, and I do not want to give that impression. DMT is still fantastic at taking neutral game duels against pretty much any weapon in the game because of its high aim assist, its high forgiveness, its high damage output, high flinch output. Everything about DMT is still fantastic as a neutral game exotic scout rifle. However, it's no longer this perfect weapon like I alluded to in the beginning. This concept of like, almost like being like Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. It used to be that DMT had all the Infinity Stones and was at max power. It could do everything. It killed supers, it would have broken damage boosts, it would beat you at range, it would beat you up close. It didn't matter. There was no weakness in DMT's game. But now that there is a defined weakness, that DMT is something that, the hit rates from the hip at ranges can be a little sus sometimes. You're being out TTK'd by stuff like Jade Rabbit. There's challengers to DMT's throne, and then you throw on top of it the damage perk going away. Suddenly, DMT is not just the default choice for scout rifles. In fact, if you're someone who hates playing against DMTs and you want to annoy your average DMT lord, just equip Jade Rabbit. Jade Rabbit outranges DMT, outstickies DMT, hits it with high cals, and you beat it in base time to kill. The Scout v Scout matchup, which DMT used to dominate so well, is now honestly maybe its worst matchup in the game, because you can't outrange these other scout rifles. Jade Rabbit is a nightmare for you to go up against, and honestly I was having a lot of trouble against it. It's now just a question of who is the best scout rifle in the game, which is a question we'll be exploring in future videos, but whereas DMT used to be the default answer for its versatility, man, there's a lot of challengers out there. Jade Rabbit, Skyburner's Oath, Polaris Lance, you have Hung Jury if you have Bonked Breathing. The new raid scout rifles, both Touch of Malice and Doom of Chelchis, have amazing PvP potential. With the current state of DMT, I was thinking about this, and I want to pose this question to you guys as we wrap up this video. A while back, before they made this change to Cranial Spike, one of the big nerfs to DMT was they reduced its effectiveness as a hipfire weapon. I kind of wish that they wouldn't do stuff like this, because making things more inconsistent instead of nerfing lethality is never a satisfying way to handle something being so strong, and it didn't stop how strong DMT was either. But in the current landscape, I wonder if we could go back to DMT's old hipfire accuracy without these being a problem. Because the fantasy of the weapon to me is that real gunslinger playstyle where you're getting in there, you're getting involved, you're not worried about your positioning or camping lanes like a traditional scout rifle user. It's meant to break the mold in that regard. And sometimes nowadays, I feel like the hipfire accuracy can be a little bit sus in a way it didn't used to feel like. And I love hipfire weapons, so I want them to lean in and make these hipfire focused exotics as accurate as they can be so that we can enjoy the benefits of their perks. So I wonder if they could walk back and maybe give DMT some hipfire accuracy back, because I don't think it would break the game at this point. It's just not nearly as lethal as it used to be. Now, if only Bungie would take a look at some other exotics that monopolize their slots and have too many perks and are also way too strong and do everything and are the Exodia of their weapon slots, maybe we could see that happen. That'd be great. Anyways, that's our first video back. Season 2 of the Crucible Brothers is coming at you fast. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you leave a comment, let us know how you're feeling. Make sure you like the video so it gets out there to more people. And let me know, honestly, what do you guys want to see us do? Do you have any topics on your mind that you want us to cover in the near future? We have a lot of videos planned already. We got to talk about matchmaking. We have a ton of weapons to review. Oh my god, so many weapons to review. It's going to be busy here in the Crucible Brothers household. So hopefully you guys are along for the ride. And we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.